Okay, welcome back everybody to Nice and Close-Up Coffee and Art in the Morning. And we have moved our camera onto Trippy the tripod. Hopefully he will not do any face plants today. Hopefully he won't face plant today. I'll make sure the cord stays out of the way. So what I want to do today, in this segment anyway, is Scooby Girl, one of the things that she sent was this 48-piece gel pen set. She sent two of them. I wouldn't think so, Judy Patootie, although that kind of defeats the purpose of the two things. Judy asked if Prismas go over gel pens. We can test it. Where I've used the gel pens is on tiny little areas. It's not even a place where you're going to put pencil over it anyway, because you're using it in such tiny little areas. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So Scooby sent this set. Great for kids, craft, scrapbooking. You decide. It's by, I guess it's Lollies, Lolliz, and it comes with 6 standard, 6 neon, 6 swirl, 12 glitter, 10 metallic, and 8 milky. And then here is the selection right there of all the ones. And she sent 2 sets. So of course I'm not going to open this one. I just wanted you to see what it looks like when it's in its little box in its home. So yes, Ben and Klein has a 4th book out, and Imagimorphia's Kerby Rosanes is getting ready to have, well, he's working on Mythmorphia. So he has Imagimorphia, Anamorphia, and now he's working on Mythmorphia, and he's got the little sketchbook as well. So I'm going to use Imagimorphia, which y'all have seen me been working in and doing washes over the main elements, the main images, coloring in some of the background. Well, today I want to see how, to work gel pens in some tiny areas. So I've got the second set that she sent in setting over here to the side so I can pick out the colors I want. This just like right next to me here. And I can't tell you I don't think there's any numbers or color names or anything on them. So I can't tell you that, but I'll show them to you, So Renee says she got the 100 color set a few weeks ago, and it doesn't have the swirls. Yeah, it was it by the Lollies? Is that the brand that you got, Renee? The Lollies? Okay, so Terry just put a link for the Amazon. Lollies, Lolliz, gel pens, and you can find that on Amazon. Okay. All right, so I've only, again, I'm not going to do a flip through this book other than flipping for what I want to color because I've gone through this last week. I showed everything that I've done up to this point in the Imagimorphia, so I'm not going to show you a page by page now other than what I've worked in with a little tiny bit with the gel pens. If I'm too loud, guys, tell me, because I'm literally, like, it's almost like my camera is almost touching me. It's so, I mean, my face is so close. So if it sounds too loud, let me know. I'll turn it down just a tad, just in case, because I am like literally right up on the tripod here. So I'll show you the one that I did a little bit of here. Okay, so this is a big cityscape, double page spread. And I've worked with 3 or 4 of the different gel pens. Sip of coffee. 3 or 4 of the green colors. There's the neon green. There is a glitter green. Let me see if I can have the light capture the, there, right on this one right here. Look, see how it has a glitter to it? So there's a glitter green. This is just a dark green. And so I just went through and found all the trees and bushes that I could and did that. So I'm going to find a different page to work on again. Some more like this. and we'll get nice up and close up and personal. But because somebody asked about the gel pens, and it may be different with the glitter versus the neon versus the swirl. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and I'll try a glitter one. Let me get a red glitter and just a plain red one here. And see what happens when we, face plant. See, that's why we call him Trippy. Because I'm literally, he's like literally in my lap, guys. Literally in my lap. Okay, so there's like a red and a red glitter. So I will do both of these on a back page here. Let's flip to the back. Let's flip to the back here. Well, I don't want to use, let's not use the page that, see, there are hidden things in here. So let's see if I can find it. Hang on, guys. I want to knock y'all over again here. I don't want to, yeah, here, we'll just use all the answers, just this bit right here. Okay, so here is the glitter pen. Nope, he just tripped. All right, so I'm going to just do a little, let's just do a little area of glitter. And this is the first time I've even used this one, so I should have primed them, got them going before I started coloring with them. But again, it's a pen, so you're coloring very tiny. Look how thin that is. See how thin that is? All right, so there's the glitter one, and then here's just a red one without the glitter. All right, so I don't know if they're, let's see if they, yeah, see, they're going to smear while they're wet. So you want to make sure they're dry. So let me hit that with the heat gun to dry it before we try to go over it. You always want to make sure whatever you use with color pencil is dry. Yeah, well, this is the only way I can get this close up for you guys, a nice, clear, and everybody says I like it. Even though the camera moves, everybody seems to like that I can get right up close to color some things, and you can see it really, close up. So it is what it is, guys. All right, so now that that's dry, let's just get a darker, like maybe a dark red or something. Let's see how dark that is, and just see what happens if it'll go over it. Okay, so, all right, so it is going over it, but it does diffuse the color. Now, you may not be able to see it on camera, but where I went over the gel pen, it is lighter. So it's not like pure pigment going over, and that's the glitter one right there. And I know you can't see the glitter. Let's go over this one. Okay, again, it is going over it. It diffuses the color just a little bit, but it does go over it. Okay, it does go over the gel pen. Let's see if it makes a smear. Now, here's my thing with the gel. Where I'm using gel pen is tiny little things. Like, I mean, the tiniest things is where I would use the gel pen. If you're going to color, like, say, this whole dinosaur with gel pen, for one, you're probably going to use up the whole gel pen on that one thing. Okay? Yeah. So, it's up to you. If you want to, color this whole thing and use up practically a whole pen coloring a big element and then shade it, it just doesn't make sense to me to do that. To me, the gel pens are more made for the tiny, tiny little areas that you can't get in with paint, pencil, or marker. That's just me. You use them however you want. Obviously, you can do whatever you want with them. But that's just me. Okay, so they do go over. Not just coloring over it with a swatch like that. It does diffuse the color a little bit. In other words, it's darker on the outside. It's darker than going over the gel. Okay, so if that answered your question. Again, it's just not something I would do because the areas like these trees, they're so tiny, I'm not going to shade those. That it is what it is for me. If it's big enough to get a paintbrush in there where I can put a wash or a marker where I could add pencil on top, then it's not something I'm going to probably use gel pens for, because that, to me, the purpose of them is those tiny, tiny little areas, right? Alrighty, so let's see. You're welcome. So I'm going to do a quick flip here and just find something, because again, I'm not doing this book in any particular order. Let's go back up here so you can kind of see where I'm going. I'm not doing this in any particular order. I'm just doing whatever I want in throughout the book. I might do a little here, a little there. Here's this might be something we could color with gel pens because it's kind of tiny and in there. The compass rose, or it's actually a compass, not a compass. It's an actual compass in there. They go over pencil nice. Yeah, they go over pencil nice for highlighting. Okay. Yeah, you gotta let everything dry. Okay. That's good to know, Scooby. That's good to know. She said that they go over pencil. Okay. So, we do, ours are all mixed media. We're all over the place with our supplies. Paint, markers, pens, washes, watercolor. This one's got some cool little fish. But again, that's pretty big. I want to find things that are really tiny. Let's see. Okay. I did finish going around these fish here with the color pencil like we did here. I just have not splattered all the way around yet. But you can see that I've done made it look like they're swimming. So I kind of did the color pencil around it so that they're like swimming through. So I did get the blue done there. Maybe we'll do a couple little things here. Some of it's big enough that I would probably do a wash or marker. Maybe we'll do both. How about that? Maybe we'll do both. Okay, let's see here. Let's go down here and try this. All right. Let's do this little area right here. If y'all have any questions, put it in caps. So maybe we can see some detail. Eyeshadow paint. I must have missed something. Little P's using some eyeshadow paint to the rescue. Okay, so let's do a couple different things here. So y'all know that when I'm using markers in a color book, I just use these Crayola water-based, they're not watercolor markers like the Zig Kuritakis, are actual watercolor in a marker. Okay, these are water, and I have to prop up Trippy next to me there so we don't fall over. These are just the Crayola bullet tip markers like this. And what's nice about them is you can get all different. You can get a nice wide, you can get a medium, and you can get a thin line. So that's why I like them. Of course, I'm doing pink on blue here, so the color's a little. So, all right, so let's just see here. For instance, like maybe these kind of look like the different corals and things in there. I'm going to try to get up pretty close for you guys. I might need to readjust the focus too, because let's go ahead and do that real quick before we start coloring. Let me get a color in here. Let's see. Let's see about focusing, guys. One moment, please. I saw a video where she used the Crayola markers and a water brush and was able to spread the ink out before. Yeah, but I gotta say, guys, when you put these on a color book page, they dry almost immediately. I've tried to move these with water with the water brush. It's not, it doesn't happen. I mean, you'll get a little bit of a smear. Let's do a test. Hang on. Let's get a water brush. All right, so So let's just say these little corally things right here, let's do them pink. All right, so let's do one. Let's do a half of one. Oh, that's not a very bright pink to show you. All right, so now I'm going to take the water brush. And again, this is a thin book. All right, so you can see it's moving. It's moving, but it doesn't move. It just like gives it a tint, like a tint of the pink. Whereas, hang on, let me grab one of the Kuretake ones. I don't want to do a face plant on you. Whereas the Kuretake, I think that's a similar color. And these are the Kuretake made by, or Zig and Kuretake do these together. Clean, it's called the Zig Clean Color Real Brush, and it's a real brush, but it's also real watercolor. So let me do that here. Let's just put a little bit there. Okay. Now, when you move this one, it completely moves. Can you see the difference there? And again, guys, I'm oversaturating my book. I hope I'm not going through. So I don't know if you can tell the difference. But this is actual watercolor. This is just like, I don't know what it is exactly. They're water-based, but these are actual watercolor where it will move. I don't know if that helps or not. It's so tiny to see that. But if y'all kind of want to know the difference, then go watch the video where I do the ponytail girl in the Look fashion book. I did the whole thing pretty much with these. Okay. Yeah. But I'm trying not to use these today because I want to use, really, I'm trying to just use the, what do you call it today? The gel pens. Okay. All right. So let me put the lids back on these. And you can tell on these gel pens, the glitter ones, they have glitter on a glittery sparkle and it may not be showing up, but there's a glittery sparkle to the canister there. See, there's a glitter sparkle to the canister. That's how you can tell that they're the glitter ones. I don't know. I've never used Papermate markers. Scooby Girl. Never used Papermate markers, so I don't know. Trust me, guys, there are hundreds and thousands of pens, and they all do something different. That's why I always tell you, especially in your color books, do tests. Do tests in them because you just never know. One pen may react differently on one type of paper than another type of paper. You know? So you always want to test your color book, or any paper you use for that matter, because every supply is going to act differently. You may think, oh, that feels exactly the same. That paper feels exactly the same in this book as it does in that one. And you go to use something and it's not. One's more absorbent, one goes through, one feathers. You just don't know what they're going to do. So you really need to test. You really need to test them. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and I just want to do some little bits like let's do this little coral bit right here. Oh, and then I also wanted to show you, let's do some different tests with colors. Like here's a pink neon. Here's just a pink regular. It's a little bit lighter pink, but it's, well, maybe this one's closer. Which one's the closest? I don't know. They're pretty much kind of the same. And then the I haven't seen what these swirl ones do, but look in the swirl ones. It's got like 3 or 4 colors in there. And again, this is the box of gel pens that Scooby sent. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. Can y'all see the colors in there? There's yellow, purple, lime green, pink. It looks like all the neon colors are kind of in there. So we'll play with them and see. The Papermate mark. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've seen the Papermate markers, and I've got tons of Papermate pens. But I don't know about the Papermate markers. They make mud. The Papermate markers make mud. The swirls are neat. Okay, let's play with one of the swirls. Let's just see. Let me get it going here. I'm just gonna, get it started. All right, so it's a very neon pink, at least to start with. I don't know how far you gotta use it to get the other colors to start coming through. I don't know. Let's just do a little test right here. Let's do a little test, guys. And see, I mean, if I got to use up half the pen to get down to the next color, we're not going to sit here and do that. But I think as you use it, it just starts changing over. So you probably have to use quite a bit to get to the next color, I'm thinking. See, it's not changing yet. So you might have to just keep using it and using it until it gets down to that next color. See? Let's get... See? But I think it would be cool once you get down to it. So let's do another one. Here's the blue swirl. So I'm sure it'll start with blue, right? Yeah. See, because the caps. So again, you probably have to just keep using it till you get past the blue into the purple. See, the blue's down to here, then it starts purple. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if you just want to use that color for a while, try to color the name page in the front first. Oh, you try, yeah, I just use it, you know, look, see on the back here, I've got all kinds of practice color things. You know, as long as you got a page, it doesn't matter where, as long as you got a page to practice, to test on. Okay, so I'm going to put the swirls away and go back to, let's go in here with here's a neon orange, a neon pink, a regular pink, and let's do a regular orange. So there's some oranges, and so let's do a comparison. Here's the pinks, the oranges. All right, so let's do a neon pink and a neon orange for a minute. All right, so you'll see okay, guys? Hopefully, I want to get right up on there. All right, so what I want to do, I'm going to just do this little bit of corally thing here. All right, so again, this is very tiny. Very, let's get me, there we go. It's tiny, and you can see how long it takes to color with a gel pen, but it gets in tiny places that, unless you just did a whole whoop, I just smeared that. Unless you did just a full-on wash over the whole thing, but you can see how they're really good for those little bitty areas that you can't get with anything else. Now, this is just me. I would not be coloring every little everything even this big with a gel pen. For me, the gel pens would be good for, all right, see that little fish right there? Let's see that little fish. See that little fish right there? Like the little dots on the fish and the little fin. See how that would be hard to get in there with even a pencil? Here, like this. See? That's the kind of things that I'll be using the gel pens for. I think, yeah, I think Scooby said that the swirls don't do matte. Yeah, I don't think they're just like going to change like from pink to then into blue and the yellow. I think you use up the pink, then you're going to use up the yellow, then you're going to use up the purple. And so they change colors as the pen, you know, as the ink wears down. But I gotta say, guys, these are so smooth. They're really a smooth pen. I mean, you know, you really can tell it's like a gel pen, right? They're really smooth writing. And this is the neon one here, the neon pink. So what I like to do when I do any kind of color, like y'all saw me do the koi fish on that swan page, I went and did all the koi fish through the whole thing. So that I like to do that. So in other words, carry that color through the whole thing so it makes it cohesive. So like I might do this one, then here's another one of the same thing. Again, for me, I would this is even a big area to color with the gel pen. I would probably not color this like all this with a gel pen. I would use it for the tiniest things. But I want y'all to be able to see it in use, right? And again, this is like, the second time I've used these pens. I just did those little trees on that other page and then this. So you can see how nice and bright that is. Hey, little P, Dorothy, Q-Bev, anybody else popping in? Did I miss? Thanks for being here. We're just using these new gel pens that Scooby Girl sent. Okay, so that's still damp where I put that watercolor on there. So I can either hit it with the heat gun, and again, it can almost go through if I'm not careful because I put a lot of water on there to try to get those markers to, show. So, all right, so let's go ahead and test the bright orange, the neon orange. Let's do, let's see here. Let's do some little fish that could almost look like a koi fish. We'll do them orange here, the neon orange. So you can see the difference right off, the color between the orange and the pink. Now let's see how it goes over the top of a acrylic wash. Okay. It's going over it, but it's obviously not going to be quite as bright because you're going over a blue. So there's that. Let's see here. So you can see the difference in the color. See the neon color over the blue, and then there's the bright neon. So obviously you can't go over acrylic paint in the same way you can with a pencil. If I go over any of these with a pencil, it will cover the acrylic paint. But, the ink is not going to go over the acrylic wash. Oh, yay, Jean. I don't know. Are they going to do is it a person that can do a video? Jean made a secret project for somebody, and she said it made it to them. But I don't know if nobody knows who it is that Jean's talking about. So we don't know if they can make videos. Can they make videos, Jean? Not that it's a bad thing that it's a little bit different shade, because it gives it different shades in the fish, but just be aware that if you're going over acrylic paint, that the pens are not the exact same color, as you can see. I sure hope so. It says arrived, but not saying out for delivery. Oh, okay. So it arrived in the city, but it hasn't got to the person yet. Oh, okay. Okay, Jean, gotcha. Yeah, I think Jean, I think knitted something. Am I right, Jean? You knitted something really awesome for somebody? They can do videos. Oh, okay. Yay. So, hey, Prismacolor Bam. All right, so there you can see the neon. Let's see if I can find another one that's like a koi fish. You got to kind of dig around in here. All of these could actually be koi fish, those right there. Let's see if there's another bright one in here. All right, we'll try a couple colors. We're experimenting. We're experimenting. You knit something, okay. All right, so there's the neon pink and the neon orange. Now let's just try. Now this is a lighter pink. I don't see a dark pink. Well, yeah, wait, let's see what this color is. Let's see. No, that's almost to the magenta side. I'll stick with this pink to compare the neon pink to just the regular pink. Okay. Now, what's she doing? Bam. Not for a while. Is she got something going on? Things she got the hands. Oh God, that was quick. Yeah, the cutout hands, the die cut cameo cutout hands I sent you, Carla. Yeah, that was quick. That was well. You're not far, so I guess it's not really that quick. Still coloring. Okay, so let's go ahead and test. Let's do let's do the little rim on this other corally looking thing here. I just want to see the color differences, right? The different colors. And this is a bright pink, but it's not a neon pink. So this is where I will use the gel pens in these tiny little areas like this. Hey Anita, anybody else popping in? Well, you can put the link in there if anybody wants to go look. Um, yeah, the traffic was really bad, wasn't it, Carla? Carla came to Atlanta for I guess I don't know if the weekend or just Sunday. Driving through yesterday, coming back from Denise's, because they had the final Braves game at the Turner Stadium. Then they had the Falcon game, and they have state fairs going on all around. So it was really, traffic was backed up. It was bad. Did you get stuck in any of it, Carla, or did you time it just right between the games? Did you time it right between the games? Hey, Margaret. Okay, so there's a difference between the pink, just the regular pink, and the neon pink right there. Okay. You can put a link in there if you want, Prisma. Go ahead. All right, let's see if that's dry yet. It's still a little damp. Let me hit those areas where I use the water brush on it. Let's make sure that's dry. It's a tiny area, so there we go. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to take my pink and go over that. I'm going to try to. Let's see if it goes over. Now that it's hopefully dry. I should maybe, there, yeah, there it goes. It's dry. You went to the football, you went to the football game yourself? Did you get to make it to Blick? Carla, did you make it to Blick? So there's the difference in the pink. See the regular pink. There's the regular pink and then the neon pink. You went to Blick's during the game, and then you went out to eat afterward and came home. Traffic was a little bad, but not terrible. Okay, well, good. All right, can y'all see that? So there's a test with the pinks. Now let me do the orange. This is which one's the neon? Ooh, it's hard to tell. I think that's the neon, and this is the regular. Okay, well, good. All right, I'm going to do the test back here in the back to see the difference. Maybe it'll be more obvious. So let's do the, I think this is the regular orange. No, I think this is the neon. Let's see. It's kind of hard to tell them apart in the barrel because they're both really bright. Okay, I think that's the regular orange. I know, and that's a small blick, Carla. That one downtown is a small one. If you ever go to Savannah, oh my gosh, yeah. See, there's this neon one. I don't know if you can tell on camera the difference. They're just a little bit different, you know. Um, Not a whole lot difference in those two oranges. Yeah, the Savannah Blick, the one that's down by the closest to the river walk, it's like a Walmart of blickness, Carla. Like a Walmart of blickness. It's huge. It's like 10 times as big as the one downtown. The one downtown, Carla, used to be a U-Track, and U-Track bought, I mean, Blick bought out U-Track, so it's not a very big store. Yeah. Earlier, Carla, I showed the new art journaling magazine, the art journaling magazine from, the Somerset Studio publication. I got the one with Packer dye in it at Barnes and Noble. Okay, so there we go, guys. Does that help you with some of the colors you can see? The bright pink versus the regular pink. And then this is the neon, but it's really hard to tell the two apart. In the see, look, maybe by the barrel. I'm thinking that the clear. Let me see. Yeah, I think the one that has more of a clear. See how this lid is clear, and this one's more opaque. So that's the regular orange, and this one is the neon with the clear translucent lid. Can y'all see that difference? I don't know if you can see it on camera. I'm trying, guys. Yeah, yeah, I didn't think about that, Bunny. Yeah, I painted my nails orange for the first day or the first week of October. Uh, Pumpkin orange. It's actually, this is the one it is. Neon Pop Salon Perfect. And it is, what's it, just neon. Oh, it's called Traffic Cone. Traffic Cone Orange. Isn't that great? No, I don't try. I don't coordinate my nails to my art. I did it because of I do it by season more than anything, but not always. Boo picks me out a lot of good colors, and so I use them. Yeah. And then and this was matte though. This was not shiny at all. I put a coat of the crystal triple shine. This is the triple shine clear coat because this was not shiny at all. And that's one of the things about nail polishes you can't really tell, unless you're used to using that brand. And I think this is the first time I bought this brand. So, but I did put a coat of triple shine on it. So it is shiny. Do I have that? No, Americana paint, probably the closest thing I would have is probably the jack-o'-lantern orange. Or let's see, is this one the same? Here's pumpkin. uh, oh, you got a jelly plate. Good, Carla. I know you'll probably do a video on that, right? Okay, so there we go on the pink. I just want to do a little comparison of the neon colors. Um, Again, the box has like 8 neons, 10 I think it has 12, 10 or 12, 2, 4, 6, 8. I think it has 12 of the glitter. Let me show y'all the box again. Hang on, guys. Let me grab it. This is the gel pens that we're working with today. The lollies. And it's got 6 standard, 6 neon, 6 swirl, 12 glitter, 10 metallic, and 8 milky, which is kind of like pastel. And yeah, this is what Scooby Girl sent us. She sent 2 sets. So this one will be a giveaway. And the other set I'm obviously using the other set right now. So that'll be a giveaway. So yeah. All right. So there's that. Let's go and try some other. Let's see, which one was the neon again? Okay, that's right. Is that the right thing? Is that? Oh wait, maybe the neons are not the translucent ones. Let me double check. Yeah, they are. Yeah, the neons have a translucent. It looks like. I want to get them straight. I'm trying to keep the colors in the right. That's the glitter because they're shiny. I don't know. Maybe they're not all that way. I can't really tell, guys, because the lids are a little deceiving. All right. Okay. So there's that little sample. All right. So now let's tilt the camera up here. Let's see what we can. So the only other thing, like I said, that I did the gel pens with was this right here. Some of the greens. There's the neon green. Let me go down this way here. The neon green, the glitter green, which if I can get the camera to put a shine up. There we go. So you can see the glitter green gives it a shine. Look at those two right there when I tilt it. See? They have a glitter to them. Now it's not as glittery. It's pretty glittery, but it's not like as glittery as the star gels. You know, but it's pretty glittery. And then this is just a dark green. And then I left this, I did it streaky like that on purpose. I didn't fill it in solid. I did the coloring kind of streaky like that to make it, to look like that on purpose. Hey, Busy Jill. Okay, so you can see as many as the little trees that I could find. I'm sure I missed some. And I think some of them I might have accidentally colored that were actually water splashes. Like, for instance, here. I think it's a waterfall, and I think that's supposed to be a water splash, but I colored it. It's just splashing in the trees. It's just splashing in the trees. So you can see that this is where I will use the gel pens, is on these little tiny bits like this. And it is kind of fun just to take a whole page and just seek out all those little bits that you're looking for that are all the same. All right, so let me find another page for us to do another example on, because I want something where I can find a whole bunch of the same thing. Because, you know, there's so many pages. I'm looking at the bottoms down here, guys. Let's tilt it up for a minute. Okay. This one's got a lot of leaves that needs they need to be colored in with a wash first. And then the tiny bits found. Let's just keep looking. Oh, this might be a good one. There might be a lot. Well, again, that's fish. I already did fish. Hang on, guys. I'm just going to dig around for a minute. Flip through the book and see. Let's hold it up there. Flip through the book and see where I want to color something particular. Like there's a lot of butterflies on this one. Because I have to kind of look for a second to see what's hidden in there, right? There's so many hidden little things. All right, let's go ahead and work on this one a little bit. All right, so the panda, Again, he's got a hot pink background here. I know it looks kind of reddy orange on camera, but it's actually the hot pink. That's the only way you can start, or as you get confused. Okay, thanks, Carrie. Well, I won't send her out any mail till she for sure. Thanks, Carrie. Okay. The thing about even stickles, Prismacolor, glitter, to me, it depends on how thick the glitter glue is. She was one of the girls was asking if glitter glue is the same as stickles. Stickles is a type of glitter glue. However, stickles can you can really get it almost you can smooth it out and get it flat. Although on my spider web here, I did kind of a thicker beaded line on the spider web. The problem with using glitter or glitter glues or any dimensional items in a color book is then you're going to fight the bumps that are caused by the glitter. Know what I mean, Vern? Yeah. So you just got to make sure that whatever you use is you're not going to be fighting lumpy, bumpy stuff. Like here's the on the spider web here. Here's the spider web I did, and you can see I use stickles. And when I touch it, it's very flat. Okay, it's still fairly flat. I can feel it, but it's not like a hump, right? It's not like a big glitter glue blob. It's fairly flat. That being said, when I color on this side, I can even feel it like this. I can feel the glitter through it, the bumpiness. So if you want to do any kind of color penciling, then that you're going to be fighting that. In other words, if I color this with color pencil, it's going to have a texture like a spider web. You're probably going to actually see a spider web lump through that. So you have to realize, hey, Susan Ribbons, you have to realize that if you put anything bumpy on the other side, and if a two-page, now if it was only a one-sided page, it wouldn't matter because you could just put some cardstock between it, and then you wouldn't feel the lumps, right? But being a double-page side, you're going to feel, even if you put a cardstock here, you're going to feel the bump from that side. So you do have to be aware of that. You know what? Maybe we'll just go on this page right here. Let's just go on this page. I like these little mushrooms. Let's get a nice red. Let's go with, let's see here. Let's go with the red. And, you know, these little tiny mushrooms, although I think they're usually, and I know there's a name for them, the red mushrooms with the white dots on them. So let's just color in one of those mushrooms here. See, this is why a gel pen is good. You can get around the tiniest little areas, leaving those spots white there. And, you know, even a color pencil, it's a little tricky to get a solid on a tiny area like this, right? They said don't need more lumps and bumps. Well, even stickles, that is a stickles. And I can still feel it through. So you got to be aware of that. If you're in a color book and you put stickles, you know, now granted on this, I couldn't smooth it out. It's a little thicker than it would be like, let's say I did the snail and stickles and I took my finger and blended out the glitter so it lied flatter. You know, I couldn't do that on the spider web because it would get all over the place, obviously. But, you know, you just have to be aware that you're putting dimensional stuff on your color book and you might have to be fighting that on the other side. Now, if you're going to do something like with paint, gel pen, or anything like any other markers, you're not, the bumps aren't going to be evident. But if you do color pencil shading, the texture is going to be picked up by the color pencil. Yeah, I like painting in the backgrounds because it does help you see it. And again, if it's a wash, like I did a green wash, right? Well, even if I don't want, I probably will have him green, but let's just say I want him another color. Color pencil will go over an acrylic wash. But not everything else will. Like we did a test on the other page with the gel pen on top of a washed something something. And it does change, the color is not as vibrant. It's dark, it changes the color. If you try to use a gel pen or a marker for that matter on top of a wash, only a color pencil is really going, or acrylic paint, is going to cover up where you've put an acrylic wash not carefully. See, I don't care, I just wash over the whole thing because I know I'm going to do color pencil. If that makes sense. Bye, Lisa. Yeah, Magical Jungle or any of those tiny, well, any of these kind of tiny bits. It's perfect for a gel pen, right? So here's a couple more. See, but you're getting these tiny, tiny little areas like this. Any color book that has tiny areas. The gel pens are awesome because you can get in there with detail that you can't get with a brush or even a pencil. It's just not as, sharp. Whatever kind, whether it's a gel pen or a pen or whatever, to get in those tiny little areas. So, yeah, gel pens, just make sure if you test your pens, if you're using like a Sharpie pen, usually I don't have a problem with. Sharpie markers will go right through, as will Copics or any kind of alcohol-based markers. Unless you got some specialized color book that has thick watercolor paper or something. But just your standard color books, you can't really use alcohol-based markers. Thanks for stopping in, Prisma. Bye. Okay. So that's the only mushrooms I see. There's those four. I'm going to look over here on this side, and I'm not seeing any. Just looking. You got to hunt. You got to hunt on these little bitty things. Right, Bunny? Bunny's doing watercoloring in the Fantastique, I think is what it's called, the German book with all the bookshelves. Again, that would be another one for tiny, tiny bits. All I've done in that one is some of the bookshelves, the actual shelves of the bookshelves. I've colored different shelves, different colors for different themes. Like the Asian one, I did the bookshelves red for, there's a lot of wood ones, and I did different colors of wood. But again, that's another good one to do with gel pens for those tiny little bits. All right, so what I've done here is the dark brown you see is just the markers, okay? That's all that the dark brown is. It's probably not this marker, it's a darker brown one, but which one? That's what the dark is in here. Now I'll want a shade in this. Again, it's going to be a little trickier on here because I can feel, by going like this, I can feel the spider web through it. The stencil, the stickles. I can feel the stickles through this. So, all right, so let's see. Oh, here's a little mushroom. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. It's going to change the color, but there's a little mushroom there that I've washed over with the brown. But now the gel pen does go over it, but it does change the color, okay? It does change the color. It probably depends on how much of a wash you have on that particular area too. But it does go, it's not like hurting the pen as far as I can tell. Can y'all see that? It's not having a problem. The pen is not having a problem going over the acrylic wash, but it does dull the color where I have the green or the brown under it just a little. It just changes it a little. You probably won't be able to tell. the color difference on camera. It changes it a little, but again, it's going over it. Then you probably put too much, you didn't water it down enough, Busy Jill. She said that she did her swans with a wash of Blue Harbor, but it's probably too opaque. You have to, I mean, you're using such little, here's mine just so you can see. It's very, very, very watered down. And again, I still have to go in here and do the shading with pencil. And the same thing for these fish. Before I hit record this morning, I went in here and did a wash of orange over all the koi fish. But they're Busy Jill, if you can see how little, see how light it is? Hope that helps. It's very, very little paint. Very little paint. Yeah, Colin Thompson, that's the Fantastic, or Fantees. You can put your link in there, Bunny. Okay, so there is Jill. You can see how little. If you put your, if you put your paint on, not Jill, or just anybody, if you get a wash, you water down your acrylic paint, and you put some acrylic paint on your image and you can't see the lines anymore, then it's too thick. You have to do it thin enough where you still see all the color book lines. See? Yeah, once acrylic paint, you can't, there's no getting it off. Acrylic paint is not like watercolor where you could re-wet it and like maybe tap off or pull off some of the excess paint. Acrylic, when it's there, it's there. So your only option, again, is to go in there with some white paint. Let's see what we can do for you, Jill. Hang on, let's try something here. Let me get trippy here to be just right. Okay, so what I will probably do on the swan is I'm going to have a lot of white, but I wanted the shadows in here to be just a little bit darker. So let me just get, let me get a pencil here. Let's see what we can do here. And then I'm going to get some white paint out and help you out a little here, Jill. I don't know if this is the color I want, though. Do I want a little bit grayer? Well, let's just go with it for now so I don't have to hunt something up. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to do some shading under some of the feathers with I really need to sharpen it. I think this is slate blue. All right, so I'm going to show you here. Whoops, let me set the camera down so I'm not shaking it. Okay, so let's just get in there real quick under a few, because I want to keep the lightness of most of it, right? But there's going to be some darker areas, and I'm hoping it shows up on camera. So I'm just going to go in there with a little bit of the slate. I'm just going to kind of go right in here. Okay, we're just going to do a small area. Lots of, if you watch my show on the recording, or even if you're here, you know that unless it's a long step-out process of many parts, you're not going to see a project rarely completed from start to finish because there's just not enough time. We're already an hour in just testing the gel pens, which I don't mind. See, that's the thing. I like my show to have lots of ideas. To me, it's more important for you guys to get the idea rather than to see a completed project that you're not going to duplicate exactly anyway, unless we have a portrait class with a printout for you to trace over or something like that. Otherwise, for me, it's about you getting the idea that you can use on other things and not just be stuck saying, oh, that only works on the swan. Well, no, it'll work on any kind of bird with any kind of color, with any kind of feathers. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get further along. So to me, it's more important that you get the idea rather than just the one thing, like just the swan, for example. Okay, so I'm just doing a little bit of shading throughout the wash. So you can see, hang on guys, I froze up with the incoming mail. 1 second, 1 moment please. Okay, so here you can see the difference between right here and a little bit of shadow shading here with the blue. Now again, you could spend more time and also use even a darker blue or gray. Let me get just a tiny, let's get a little bit of gray. No, that's not gray enough. Okay, here we go. All right, so you can even get a little bit more areas where there's even more shading. Oh, sorry guys, I know I'm jiggling the camera here. Trying to be close up and not. All right, so let's do, and then I'm going to get out the white paint and you'll see what I'm going to do. All right, so can you see with now with the gray, I'm getting in there and just hitting a few deeper shadows, right? And you would do this over the whole side of this swan and leave it lighter in areas. See that I'm not getting that real dark right there. You can make it. No, don't make it a black swan. Wait, don't do that yet, Jill. If you totally mess it up, then you can. But try this first. wait for it. Wait for it. I haven't got to the white paint yet. You want this, you have to have the dark underneath. You don't want to try to do this through white paint. You want to do this now. Okay, you want to get those nice shadows with your darker, the slate blue, or this is, I think this is 70% gray. The color, I mean, the number is sharpened off, but it's just a darker gray. All right, so now, see how we got this going here compared to this? See how it's already got more depth just with that? And again, take your time. I always tell you that just because I'm kind of hurrying here doesn't mean you have to. All right, take your time. All right, so there we go. So you see how it's shaded under each of the little feathers? Just a little bit. Okay, but now, hang on guys, let me get out some white paint and a brush. Let's see. Where's my white paint? Here we go. I'm just going to squeeze out a little paint. All right, now let me get a little flat brush. Hang on, I've got to dig through my brush. I'm holding Trippy with one hand so he doesn't face plant on you. And always wet your brush, but damp it off. I mean, just don't stick your brush in a dry in a dry state. I mean, I'm not saying have your brush soaking wet, but you don't want to take your brushes and dip them in paint without first dipping them in water, because then they'll crust up really easy. Okay. All right, so I got a little bit of white paint here, no water except the dampness of the brush. And I'm just going to get the tiniest bit of paint. We're going to do like one feather at a time. All right, now watch. Uh-oh, hang on, I just painted my camera. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure that you can see it in that thing. All right, so now we're going to go in here, and this is what you can do. This is what you can do if you got it too dark. And let's just say you can't even see 1 or 2 feathers. You can make up your own feathers. Go in there and you think you've covered it up too dark, Jill, just go back in there and go over the area you think there used to be a feather there, and I covered it up and it's too dark and I can't see it. See how you can make a few feathers just pop like that? And you want to kind of layer them too. If you're doing feathers, you do want to kind of go from top, the under layer and then over and I'm not even covering them, I'm just kind of tapping them. And even here in this part where there's really nothing, no shading, even if you put a pop of white on there, can you see how that, I hope I can doing this okay. It's hard to tell in the camera, guys. Let's do over here for a minute. And when you see me leaving right there, I'm just getting more paint on my brush. So I'm going to just pop in a few feathers. So you could try this. You could try this before you ditch it. Don't ditch your swan until you always try this. And take more time and think about where each feather's going to be. But let's back up and see. And then you can always go back after the paint's dry. You can always go back in there with pencil again and do more shading and all that. Okay. And there's just a few feathers right here, you see. So try this before you give up on your swan. Okay, now the other thing too, like let's just say right here on the face, okay, the edges of the feathers might be kind of stark. If you don't like that looking too stark, for one, up here you can also blend down some into that blue to make it look more realistic. But then also, now let's dry it. I hear my mailman. I think he's coming up to the door. All right, hang on. Let me dry this. Let me move y'all back just a little so you don't have to get right up on it. Always dry it. And then you can always go back in there with more shading to get it under, each feather if you want. But then you can also take your white. Now I've got to sharpen my white. Hang on. Let's try not to let Trippy face plant. When I let go of him, I always worry about him getting away from me when I let go of him. But you can take up here and take your white pencil, because that's acrylic paint, and you can do a lot of shading or highlighting, I should say, Jill, with your white on top of the acrylic paint. See? So you can try that too, because your white pencil will go on top of acrylic. So there's just an option. Again, it's a little messy here. I need to, to take a little bit more time, and I will go back and fix that. But I just want you to see that if you've got too dark or you can't see the lines and the feathers, then go in there with your white paint and try that. Dede, I asked about Americana having Payne's Gray last week. Yes, I told y'all that same show, guys, that at my store there's no Payne's Gray. Okay, that's just what I'm saying. Yeah, I know you can buy it online, and I know a few people have found it. I'm just saying, my Michaels, my Hobby Lobby does not have it. Yes, you can find it. You can find anything on Amazon. So yeah. Yeah, so all is not lost, Jill. Just, again, I just kind of hurried through this. You want to take your time and kind of flick each feather and then go back in there and, shade under them and fix, it's more time consuming, but it gives it a nice effect. See, there's one without. So you can see, depending on how much detail, how much individual featherage you want to cover. Yeah, if you have problems getting in on Ustream, guys, a lot of it has to do with what device you're on. If you're on a phone, a tablet, whether you're on your computer, if you're on a phone or a tablet, you have to have that Ustream app. It does depend on your browser, whether you're using Safari or, Explorer, whatever. And it also depends on your internet connection, so it has a little to do with any of it. And that's why it's hard for us when y'all say, "Oh, I can't get into chat," or whatever. There's too many variables as to why that happens. Although if it happens to multiple people at the same time, then it's probably Ustream. But there again, there's nothing we can do about it. As a streamer, as a streamer. So, well, you're the boss of your color book, Jody. You're the boss of your color book. So again, it might work for some of you on Safari, and it may not. It may work for some of you on Explorer, it may not. And that may depend on your internet connection. It may depend on your bandwidth speed or whatever. There's just so many variables, guys, that it's hard for us to, as streamers, to say what the issue might be. All right, so I'm going to leave this here for just a second. And I'm going to go get some hot coffee, see if the mailman left anything on the porch. And then we'll do a little bit more with the gel pens that Scooby Girl sent us in some tiny areas just to test it out. Again, that's how I will use gel pens. I won't use gel pens on big water waves or, anything like that. I would use it for like these little bitty creatures, the little getting around areas on a tiny mushroom, those little tiny areas that really you can't get with anything else other than a pen. That's how I will be using the gel pens. And again, she sent 2 sets, one for me and one for a giveaway. So, bye, Jill. Hope that helped. Oh, feeling encouraged. Good, Jill. And guys, anytime y'all have questions, if you're watching a recording, I don't mind answering questions anytime you have a question. If you have a complaint about, I can't get into Ustream. Well, sorry, guys. What can I say? There's nothing I can do about it, So I try to be nice to you guys, but, it's just some things, it's just like if you're just ranting, I can't help you. If you have a question about something, I'm glad to answer. And I do appreciate every comment. I try to acknowledge every comment, at least even with a like, so that you know that I've read it. Even if I don't answer if you have a question, of course I'm going to answer. But if you leave me a comment in YouTube, just saying, oh, I like your show, I'm enjoying coloring, I'm learning something, I will either say something back to you or at least like the comment so you know I've seen it. Occasionally, YouTube has a chat issue where it's tougher to answer. And I know that. Oh, let me say this real quick. So if you are watching this and you are having problems with, if you're here or anybody that may have a problem with answering comments on YouTube. There for a while, and I haven't tested it because I usually go this other way anyway. But as a YouTuber, or if you put something on YouTube and you can't comment, it tells you you can't comment. It's in red and you can't comment. Go in through your video manager. And then over on the sidebar where it says community, it has all the analytics and the community and everything else is over there on the left. Go into your community and you'll see all your comments there. I've not had any problem commenting through the video manager rather than just hitting your individual video, and trying to comment under the video where it's not allowing you, or it wasn't at least last week and the week before. It may be fixed. I don't know. But I always go in through the video manager and then over on the community tab and then through the comments there, and I have no problem answering over there. So, no, I'm not talking about here. I'm not talking about here, Lynn. Yeah, I wasn't talking about here, Lynn. Yeah. Yeah. No, I wasn't talking about here. I get a lot of questions messaged me, and I get a lot of questions in comments in YouTube saying I can't get into your Ustream. Why can't I get in there? What's the problem? Is it free? Do I have to pay? Why can't I get in there? So that's what I'm talking about, Lynn, not you guys here. You guys here know the deal. Y'all been here long enough to know the deal. Yeah, I'm talking about people that leave comments asking about how to get into Ustream. Yeah, if you're on a device, if you're on a phone or laptop, a phone or an iPad or a tablet, you have to have the app. Okay, I hope that answered. Hey, Silver. Hey, Twinkle Toes. Linda. Hey, guys. Hey, Sherry. Yeah, exactly, Sherry. But a lot of people have had problems with answering their comments just with tapping, answering in the list, and they're having problems. So, yeah, there you go, Terry. All right, guys, my voice is going, so let me go get some hot coffee, and then we'll color a little bit more with the gel pens, and then we'll start another project. But I wanted to test out the gel pens for Scooby and for you guys, that particular brand. I can't answer on every gel pen, guys. Again, this is the ones we're using, the Lollies, I guess is how you say it. 48 gel pen set. This is the one we're playing with today. Okay. All right, let me go get some coffee, guys. I'll be right back. One moment. Don't face plant, Trippy. Okay, it wasn't the mailman after all. It was a yard yard service truck going through. Okay, so I got some coffee. I'm going to eat a quick cookie while we save this recording in a minute. So let's get out. Let's get out. What color? What color? Well, you know what? Let's do a different. I want to. What we picked? We picked something. Hang on. Let's tilt up the camera. Where there was a lot of little. Okay, a mech one would be a good one for the. Let's do this. Let's test this out on the elephant ears here. Let's do some gel pen on the elephant ear. Let me move some of this out of the way. Gel pen, and I like the markers too. That's good for tiny areas. Okay, so let me get out. Here's a blue gray, a blue, a dark blue. Let's see what other colors we have here. Here's a black gel pen, or is that another dark blue? What? Oh, I think that's a dark, might be a dark purple. We'll test. Let's see, that's black. Oh, here's a silver gray. What else? There's another, is this a darker gray? Yeah. So some silvers and grays. Do you like them, Pepper? I'm just started using them, so I haven't used them very much. Let's get a, the metallic ones have a little bit of a shimmer in the barrel. I don't even know if y'all can see that. And on the cap. See how it's got a little flecks of shine to them? Or little flecks of like glitter in them? That's how you can tell they're a glitter one. It's kind of hard to see on camera. But the glitter ones will have that in them. Okay, that's a teal. I don't want a teal. Let's see. This will be enough. All right, so let's do a test with these colors. Let's see. Let's go to the back here. Again, back to our test page. And let's do a little test with each one. Okay, this is a dark blue. Let's see. And here's this is the glitter silver. Has the glitter in it. I think there's 10 that are glitter. Is it 10 or 12? Okay, then let's see. This looks like a purpley blue. Let's test that. It's a dark blue. I like this one better because it looks more like a gray. This one looks so blue. I'm going to put that one to the side. I want to go with this gray blue. Okay, let's see what this one is. This is a dark gray. It's not quite black. It's a kind of a slatey, dark gray. Just testing the colors. Cut it out. Oh, you're talking to me, sorry. And then this one is just a silver. So the glitter silver, let's see if you can see. It has a glitter in it. It's a shimmer. It's not like bumpy glitter. Let's don't confuse it with stickles or anything like that. But that one's got a little bit of glitter to it. Where like this one that I just used is kind of flat. It's hard to tell until you tilt it. This one is glittery and shiny. Okay. All right, let's go back to the elephant. Well, where'd he go? Where'd he go? There it is. Okay. So we'll do a little bit with the gel pens on here. Then we'll do, we're going to do a mixed media journal page today too. But we'll separate it. We'll separate into another video. Okay. So I'm going to start with some of the blue gray because I think that'll be a nice, you'll be able to see the contrast. So all these little, like I might pick, let's say these, this little bit here. Let's see. These little cables, just for the sake, I'm going to do every other one just so it stands out. Although I probably wouldn't normally color it that way. I'd color it shaded, but I'm going to do it this way so it stands out. So you can see that this is perfect. This is perfect for getting in those little tiny places with a pen. Can you see? And they're nice and smooth. They really are really smooth. Can y'all see that? This is why I'm on Trippy the tripod, so that I can get right up on it for you guys. See, even with a pencil, this would be tricky. With a real sharp pencil, this would still be tricky. But with a gel pen, you can get right in there. Yes, that's the only ones I'm using. Yeah, the lollies. Yeah. Yep, man, that's what I'm using. And see how smooth they are? And see how, look how tiny. That's just like the tip of the pen. Yeah, they're really good for tiny spaces. Exactly, Lynn. So like those cables, here's another one up here. But, you know, doing this live like this in real time, you see how long things take, you know, especially if you're drawing like portraits and things. It just lets you see how long things actually take. It just takes longer than you think. All right, so let's see. Let's go over to this here. Jean being a smarty pants. She's sassy pants. Jean is sassy pants. Okay, here's another cable right here. Trying to stay back on the pin so you can see what's going on. So you can see how tiny that is, right? Look, let's back up so you can see. There's a double page spread. Here's the size of a pen. So you can see how tiny the things are we are coloring. You did spokes in the bicycle book with these? Yeah. Yeah, they're nice, aren't they? Okay, let me get my camera cord out of the way there. They're nice, aren't they? They are smooth. They are real smooth. And I'm sure there's tons of different brands out there, guys. I'm not um, well versed in gel pens. Paula has used them for a long time in her color books, and she's even used them up. She has actually used her gel pens up, and she took the gel pens and made a journal cover with them, with the dried out ones. Okay, let's see. Oh, there's one right there. And of course, they don't all have to be the same color. I'm just doing this for a good, to show you how to hunt things out in these tiny books. Hunt them up and find where you can color things the same. Last Thursday was Grumpy Pants. You didn't upload that yet, have you, Jean? You haven't uploaded that video? Oh, here's another good one. All right, this will be a good example. Let me get the red pen back out again. Look, here's a card with hearts on it. Look how tiny that's not much bigger than the tip of the pen. So we can go in there and color those little hearts. Just so you can see that you can get those tiny bits like that. And again, those hearts are not much bigger than the tip of the pen. See? Yeah, you forgot to upload. Okay. I mean, I can watch them on Ustream, but it's just as easy to watch it, if not easier to watch the recordings on YouTube. Okay, so there we go. All right, so let's just do a little bit more perusing. See what else I might want to color in. I might do some little stars. Well, I saw there's one. Let's get a gold. glitter. And let's do a couple of the gold glitter stars. Let's see if I can find, I know I saw one more over here. So you can just kind of go through and find all the things that are the same. It just helps kind of fill it up, and you're not just working, look, looks like a Rubik's Cube there. And you're not just working on one little thing over and over and over and getting tired of it. I don't want to say bored with it, because I don't mean that you get bored, but you can get monotonous with the same things over and over. So anyway, I think you can kind of see. So got any questions, guys, on the, got any questions on the gel pens or anything? You love gel pens? Yeah, they're, again, I don't use them a lot, but I will now. I will use them more. Let's go back to those trees. Hang on, guys. Here. You can see where I went through and found all the trees. Like these kind of pine tree looks, I did those kind of with a glitter pen. Let's see if I can get the shine. But these are kind of with the glitter pen. These are with the neon green pen. And then I used some dark forest green in some areas. So you can see there's the whole thing so far with just the trees. All I've done in all this is just the trees. Oh, and the little rabbit, or whatever little creature that is. So, yeah. So thanks, Miss Scooby Girl, for sending us all the awesomeness. And we will be doing a giveaway with the gel pens. Okay. So there you go. Hey, Tammy. Tammy, your color book should be there today. I think the tracking said it should be there today, Tammy. How would I shade the jellyfish? Yes, pencils. If I'm shading anything with a sizable, anything that's a sizable thing, then I'll shade with color pencil. These little bits, see, I'm not going to shade any of that. That's the, like the trees. That's it. You know, look how tiny they are. Look, there's my fingernail. I'm not going to shade all that. Yeah, and this is the Imagimorphia. Let me shut the book so you can see here. Move the cord. So this is the one we were working in. Imagimorphia. And again, I am going to try to, I'm going to keep, look, I'm going to keep working in it. And I would love to be able to finish this book. So, oh, hey, Cable Claire. Okay, guys, hang on, and I am going to go ahead and stop this recording. I wanted to test out the gel pens and the Lolly's gel pens, and I think they work awesome. They're very, very smooth. They're very smooth. So, okay, guys, we'll be right back. So if you're watching the recording, just, you know, we'll have another video here shortly. All right, guys, hang on.